At the conclusion of the day by election and the outcome of it, I would like to make some observations and some lived experiences I'd like to recount. And I see that this is an area that requires serious reform and change. And that is in the area of election management or election governance. The way the elections are run is so dysfunctional and disorganized and so costly that I don't think we will ever change this country if we do not fix this area. I've observed it from a distance, but now having experienced it firsthand as a contestant in the election, I see that there's a lot of things that needs to change. I've seen the constitutional rights of individuals have been deprived by few individuals. I've seen a lot of corruption at play. I've seen a lot of hands at play. I've seen few individuals depriving the rights of everybody and then taking the ballots to certain locations, and almost all the polling booths, people were not allowed to vote freely. And there was no free and fair election. And I'm not saying it as a, bitter about my loss and all of this. No. I see that this experience gives me an insight to make this comment as someone who has been involved in the good governance area, someone who has been involved in transforming institutions. I see that the election management and governance of it needs serious paradigm shift. And that is the first hand experience that I have seen that we seriously need to address if we are going to progress as a country. The election process is the process that produces the elite leaders of a country, the apex of decision making. And we need to get it right. The policy makers, the lawmakers, the people who set the course for this country, the people who make critical decisions that charts the future of this nation. And this process is so dysfunctional that even good, well-intended, smart people who would like to contribute at that level will find it so hard and so difficult to participate. And that is why this process needs serious improvement. And it is a very, very expensive process, I'm saying. It drains resources, it drains energy, it takes up a lot of productive time doing unnecessary things, masquerading around. All of these things could be avoided. Now, when you look at the cost of running elections, the electoral commissioner, acting electoral commissioner, just announced that it will cost up to $500 million kina, 500 million kina to run 2027 elections. And that money, I believe that it's just to run the elections, but they are after costs like IACA bins and allowances and accommodations and litigations that go with it, that goes up to hundreds and hundreds of millions of taxpayer money that is being wasted or spent on running expensive elections. And that is on the part of those who are administering the process. But then you look at the candidates and the supporters of the funders. So candidates spend a great deal of resources as well. So that could be half of, or that could be equal to the money that the state spends. So probably that's 500 to 600 million kina that is spent by candidates all around the country in every national general elections. So it's a billion kina activity we're talking about. It's a billion kina activity we're talking about. So it is a very expensive exercise that is being carried out, but it is so dysfunctional and costly. See, and then after the elections, you look at election petitions, not only this cost you're looking at. Election petitions, and I will give you some statistics about election petitions. In 2012, 105 out of 11 seats ended up in the Court of Disputed Returns. In 2017 national general elections, 87 out of the 111 seats ended up in the Court of Disputed Returns. They filed election petitions. And then in 2022, 102 out of 118 seats ended up in court. So the entire election process, about 86% of the entire election process is fraught with controversy. It is being challenged. It is being disputed. What does that tell you? It is a serious indictment that something is seriously wrong in the election process. And it costs the poor losing candidates a lot of money to pay lawyers and all the costs associated with running a litigation. I know as a lawyer. And then all the cost, the judicial time that is committed in running election petitions, the tension, the anxiety, and all of these things, and the cost to the Electoral Commission to also defend all of those election petitions. So when you look at it, it is a very, very costly exercise. We don't get it right. We rarely get it right because 86% of all our elections are up to chance. So far, if you look at the last 3 national general elections, they've all been brought into dispute. So we seriously need to get it right. And when we're talking about the cost, the social cost, the families that are divided, the tensions in the communities, all of these things, social costs are also immeasurable, and all of this could be, immeasurable. We cannot measure in money terms, but it's all contributed by dysfunctional election management process. And I think this requires a serious reform. All of these costs we're talking about, the billion kina activity we're talking about, all of this could be avoided. The tensions, the fact that people are not given an opportunity to vote, all of these things could be avoided if we simply introduce digital technology. If we simply digitalize the election management process, I believe that a lot of these costs could be avoided, a lot of taxpayers' money could be saved, a lot of tensions, a lot of litigation time could be saved. All of these things if we introduce a digital system, biometric voting system. You see, when we're talking about all of these things, a biometric system will solve all the problems of ghost names, all the costs and all of these things. The biometric system will also solve the costly exercise that the state has been doing, the so-called NID project that has costed hundreds of millions of kina. The national census that is carried out every 5 years. The common roll update that is carried out every 5 years or so. 3 activities that is costing the government and the taxpayers of Papua New Guinea a lot of money, but we never get the exact population right. 3 different activities, the national census, the common roll update, and the NID, all of them are done, but we still haven't got the population right. We still haven't got the voting common roll right. And these are serious things. All of this could be avoided and resolved by digitalizing, by introducing digital technology. So if we introduce a biometric system, then it will solve all these problems. So let me give you an example about India. India has almost 1 billion population, but the voting population is about 800 million. And India's context and circumstances are similar to ours. And they vote, because they have a technology available, they vote, and in the same day, there is no counting time and people sleeping outside and waiting for counting and anxiety and all of this. There is no human involvement. All they do is using biometric system, and all 800 million people, they vote, and on the same day, they know the result. Same day, they know the results. And that is what I'm talking about. PNG is a small province of India in terms of the demographics and the policy population that we have. So if we introduce biometric system, it could solve a lot of these problems. I see no reason why we are not exploring that opportunity. It could cost us less than, I believe, within the vicinity of 100 million. It could cost 100 million kina to procure that system, maybe off the shelf or customize it. Whatever it is, there's a lot of technology available, and we are sitting here doing the same things over and over and not getting it right. So if India could do it, we could do it. The technology is available. So 100 million kina can solve all the costs that is involved in running dysfunctional and defective elections. So I think I urge the government to seriously look into it and explore this opportunity. Explore the technologies available there. I think it needs to be done. Because the other thing, it can also solve corruption as well. And I'm talking about elite corruption, the top level political corruption I'm talking about. You see, because candidates spend so much money at the elections through this dysfunctional system, and then they are produced through that system, so they have to go and make some money while in power to come back and then to fund that system to win again. If we automated a lot of things and if we digitalized a lot of things, I believe with the biometric system, people just go and stand up in front of a screen or in front of a tablet or whatever. And like we have 56 polling or 59 polling booths. It's just, it requires the 59 tablets or 59 screens or 59 gadgets where individuals can line up and the biometric system is there, the fingerprints or the facial recognition authenticated, and all they do is they just press the first photo of the first candidate, the second preference and the third preference. The tallies and everything is done up by the system technology, and in the afternoon we know the results. It could solve all your IACA problems, it could solve all the ghost names problems, it could solve all the counting time, it could solve, avoid all the human beings that are involved in the counting and all the funny things, the foul plays that they do. All of these things could be solved and avoided if we simply introduced biometric system. It could solve all the election petition cases that we have that clog up the court's time. It could solve a lot of things and all the energy that is used. So I urge the government, if we are serious enough to fix this country, a lot of things can be fixed if we fix the election management process. And we are into 50 years and we are in the age of technology. I see no reason why we are avoiding this, and I see no reason why such a system is not being explored. Thank you.